Good morning, fifth grader. Today we're going to go over April 16th's NTI packet. Your NTI Day Daily Overview. Math, page 3 through 9. Reading, page 10 through 16. Writing, page 17 through 19. Social Studies, page 20 through 27. And PE and Health, page 28. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself, by John Dewey. Mathematics Lesson Overview. Learning Target. I can find the quotient when dividing a 4-digit whole number by a 2-digit whole number using strategies based on place value. Daily Learning Plan. This lesson will focus dividing whole numbers using the standard algorithm. In order to be successful in this lesson, you will need to follow each of the steps in the learning plan below. Today you will read the provided notes, pages 4 through 6, to gain understanding for today's learning target. Complete the learning target practice, page 7 through 8. Using the notes from today's learning target, answer each of the questions. To show your understanding of today's learning target, complete all parts of the practice. This is an opportunity to engage the content to gain a deeper understanding of what we are doing. Complete the exit slip, page 9, to demonstrate your understanding of today's learning target. Mathematics. Learning target. I can find the quotient when dividing a 4-digit whole number by a 2-digit whole number using strategies based on place value. Let me show you. Let's solve this. 5,296 divided by 31. First, set up the problem like this. Next, determine how many times your divisor, 31, will go into the first number, 5. Since you cannot take a group of 31 out of 5, expand your first step to include the hundreds place as well. Now, how many groups of 31 can be taken from 52? Check this out. 31 times 1, 31 with the remainder of 21. Bring down your 9. Since I could take one group of 31 from 52, I multiplied 31 times 1 and placed the product under 52 and found the difference, 21. Since I can't take a group of 31 from 21, I bring the 9 down to make 219. At that point, I see how many groups of 31 can be taken out of 219. Check this out. 7. 31 times 7 is 217. With the remainder of 2, bring down my 6. Next, I want to see how many groups of 31 can come out of 26. Since I cannot take a group of 31 from 26, here's my next step. 0. 31 times 0 is 0, and I keep a remainder of 26. Now that I can no longer divide by 31, I need to work on how I express 26. In the past, we've been able to express this partial quotient as a remainder. Therefore, the answer to this question would be 170 remainder 26. Denominator, part of a whole. The numerator. Let's practice. Number 1, solve 7,800 divided by 20. Think about what you are doing when you divide. In your own words, explain what it means to divide. Using your understanding of the connection between multiplication and division, check your work in number 1 with multiplication to ensure you have the correct answer. Solve 1,856 divided by 12. Solve 4,255 divided by 24. Let's see what you know. Divide 5,692. Divided by 43. The Elliott family was leaving for vacation and heading west to see the Grand Canyon. From Danville, Kentucky to the Grand Canyon National Park is 1,728 miles. If Mr. and Mrs. Elliott take turns driving and are able to drive 64 miles per hour, how many hours would it take if they drove without stopping? A. 31 hours, B. 23 hours, C. 27 hours, or D. 25 hours. Reading, Lesson Overview, Learning Target. I can use specific details in a text to compare and contrast two or more events in a story. Daily Learning Plan. This packet focuses on similarities and differences of two or more events in a story. In this lesson, you will learn how to compare and contrast events in a fiction story. In order to be successful in this lesson, you will need to follow each of the steps in the learning plan below. Today you will read the provided notes, page 11, to gain understanding for today's learning target. Complete the learning target practice, page 12 through 14. Using the notes from today's learning target, answer each of the questions. To show your understanding of today's learning target, complete all parts of the practice. This is an opportunity to engage the content to gain a deeper understanding of what we are doing. Complete the exit slip, page 15 through 16, to demonstrate your understanding of today's learning target. The chronological order of events within a story is the order in which things happen. A story usually begins with an introduction to the character and the problem encountered. The steps taken to solve the problem are additional events in a story. A story ends with a solution to the problem. All of these events, with the problem and solution as a central idea, make up the plot of a story. It helps to compare and contrast these events to better understand the changes that characters undergo. When analyzing a story's plot, it helps to determine which event introduces the problem and which event gives a solution to the problem. In most cases, it is clear in the text. The plot. Series of events that make up the story. The problem and main characters are introduced. Beginning. The characters work on solving the problem. Rising action. The high point of the story where the problem is solved. Climax. And all loose ends are tied up that the character usually learns something. In the end is the resolution. So, and phew. First, before, next, then, later, after, while, suddenly, and finally, last. Practice comparing and contrasting events in the following story. Celebration. It's finally here, I said to myself as I got off the school bus that Friday afternoon, and it's going to be great. I had been patient. I'd waited and waited for the big family party. It was just one day away. From all over the city, and even as far away as Baltimore, my family was meeting at our house for a cookout supper Saturday night. My older sister, Mai, was excited, too. She had promised to decorate our backyard and even string little lights all over the trees and bushes. We talked about it last night. Now it was time to decorate the yard, but Mai was nowhere to be found. I sat in the backyard waiting for her. I was worried because I knew how enthusiastic she was about decorating. I called some of Mai's friends to ask them if they knew where Mai was, but none of them knew either. I was confused. Why isn't Mai here to help? Finally, I went up to my bedroom to read. As I was walking up the stairs, I saw Mai coming out of her bedroom looking sleepy. "Where were you?" I exclaimed. "The high school let us out early today, so I was taking a nap before we began decorating. I overslept a little bit." "Sorry," she said. In my excitement, I forgot to look in the most obvious place, Maya's bedroom. After my sister changed her clothes, we had a blast decorating the backyard. I haven't had that much fun in a long time. And best of all, the family was very impressed the next day. Number 1. Underline which event introduces the problem. Number 2. Underline the event which gives a solution to the problem. And number 3. Compare and contrast the events occurring when the problem is introduced in this story. Think about the characters and the overall mood during these events. Number 4. Compare and contrast the events occurring when the solution is presented in the story. Think about the characters and the overall mood during these events. Practice answers. So now it was time to decorate the yard, but Maya was worried, or Maya was nowhere to be found. I was worried. I was confused. In my excitement, I forgot to look in the most obvious place, Maya's bedroom, and after my sister changed her clothes, we had a blast decorating the backyard. So when the problem is introduced, the narrator states that she is very worried and confused, and this event changes the mood of the story from a happy one to a sad one. And after the solution to this problem has been presented, the mood changes back from sad to happy. During this event, the narrator states that she had a lot of fun decorating with her sister. Reading, Learning Target Assessment. I can use specific details in a text to compare and contrast two or more events in a story. Let's see what you know. The Pocket Watch by Anthony McPherson. Margaret had gone out to the barn to fetch a pail of milk. On her way back inside, she gazed at the green and peaceful fields of her family's Connecticut farm. It was a sunny, mild day in April 1775. So calm compared with what Margaret feared might be coming. For just last week, fighting had erupted between the British and the colonists in the towns of Lexington and Concord. Margaret wondered if there would be more fighting. Grasping the pail of milk, Margaret turned toward the house and went through the back door and into the kitchen, where her mother was preparing supper. The quiet she had experienced outside was shattered almost as soon as she set the pail down. Her two younger brothers, who were in the front room, began shouting and arguing. The sounds of a struggle began. Margaret and her mother went into the dark, dusty front room to see what the fight was about. George, the younger of the two, was hunched over and clutching something shiny in his hand. William, a head taller than George, was clambering over his little brother and trying to pry the shiny object loose. "It's mine," shouted George, pulling away from his brother. "Father said I could carry it today." "Why should you get to? I'm older," shouted William. "It's mine by right." "Boys," said their mother, "how can you fight over a timepiece when some of our neighbors have just lost their lives fighting the British?" George and William looked at each other and then looked down, ashamed. Margaret was glad when the two promptly apologized to each other and admitted it really didn't matter who got to carry the watch. Brother, they agreed, should not fight brother. Which event in the passage shows the problem? A. When Margaret set down the pail. B. The two brothers were in the front room shouting and arguing. C. On Margaret's walk outside. Or D. The colonist and British fighting. What happened when George and William felt ashamed for fighting? A. They apologized and admitted it didn't matter who carried the watch. B. They got angry with their mother. C. The brothers fought about being right. Or D, they decided to fight against the British? How did the problem get solved? A, when Margaret and Mother went into the front room. B, Father said I could carry the pocket watch. C, Mother told the boys that some of the neighbors are losing their lives fighting over the British. Or D, when George pried the shiny object loose. Writing. Lesson overview. Learning target. I can write an opinion piece on a topic supporting my point of view with reasons and evidence. Weekly learning plan. This week we'll focus on opinion writing. This is your opportunity to practice the power of using your thoughts to effectively communicate your opinion. In order to allow you to work on the different elements of a complete writing piece, each day has its own focus. By Thursday, you will have a completed opinion piece and be ready to try one in one sitting on Friday. This week, you will Monday, read the prompt and create a plan using a graphic organizer or Foursquare. This is your chance to brainstorm ideas and design the flow of your piece. Tuesday, write the introduction. Be sure to grab your reader's attention with a great hook and state the purpose of your writing piece. Wednesday, write the body of your piece. Using strong supporting details such as examples, explanations, and experiences, make your plan come alive in your piece. Thursday, write your conclusion. This is your chance to bring all of your thoughts to an end and leave the reader thinking. Friday, practice a new prompt and complete it all at one time. Time yourself. Try to complete it in 30 minutes. Using the opinion prompt and your Foursquare organizer that you use to analyze your prompt, write a conclusion. For your writing piece, make sure to tie your details together in this paragraph. The writing situation. For decades, people believed that our solar system had 9 planets. But in 2006, astronomers decided that Pluto was a dwarf planet. Not all astronomers accept the changes to Pluto's status. Writing directions. What do you think? Should Pluto still be called a planet? Write an editorial for Popular Science Junior magazine in which you sound off your opinion. Be sure to use solid reasons backed by specific details to support your belief. Try to include some domain-specific vocabulary to make your opinion stronger. Consult a dictionary or thesaurus to assist you in spelling grade-appropriate words correctly. Be prepared for someone to look over your spelling. Social Studies. Lesson Overview. Learning Target. I can explain how places and regions in the United States are defined by their human characteristics. I can describe patterns of human settlement in the early development of the United States. Daily Learning Plan. This packet focuses on the foundations of the different regions of the United States. In order to be successful in this lesson, you will need to follow each of the steps in the learning plan below. Today you will read the provided passage, pages 20 through 23, to gain understanding for today's learning target. Complete the learning target practice, pages 24 through 25. Using the notes from today's learning target, answer each of the questions. To show your understanding of today's learning target, complete all parts of the practice. This is an opportunity to engage the content to gain a deeper understanding of what we are doing. Complete the exit slip, page 26, to demonstrate your understanding of today's learning target. The Southwest. The history. The Southwest region of the U.S. is made up of the following 4 states: Arizona, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. Native American civilizations existed for thousands of years before Europeans explored the land that was to become the American Southwest. In New Mexico and Arizona, ancestral Pueblo cultures flourished. Pueblos were buildings usually built on steep rock ledges or mesas. The pueblos were several stories tall and had many rooms. In Oklahoma, there were mound builders who formed large mounds of earth to use as native burial or ceremonial sites. The land that became Texas was home to many different Native American tribes. In the 1500s, life changed a lot for the indigenous people when the Spanish explorers arrived. This is a picture of pueblos located in New Mexico. The Spanish brought deadly diseases from Europe that the native people had never been exposed to before. The Spanish also wanted to force their customs and beliefs on those already living on the land, which resulted in fights. Disease and violence killed many of the native people soon after the Spanish arrival. Most of the Southwest remained under Spanish control until the 1800s. After Mexico won its freedom from Spain in 1821, this region was considered part of Mexico's territory. However, when the United States won the Mexican-American War in 1846 through 48, Mexico gave up its northern lands, which became the American Southwest and California. Oklahoma had been under French rule until 1803, when it became part of the United States as part of a deal called the Louisiana Purchase. The climate. Much of the land in the Southwest region is desert. Deserts are hot and dry. The Southwest is typically thought of as a hot, dry area of land. This is true in many, but not all, parts of this region. Arizona has some of the hottest summers in the United States. While New Mexico's mountains get snowfall even in early fall, this region doesn't get a lot of precipitation like rain or snow. When it does rain, it can become quite dangerous, causing flash floods. During a flash flood, so much rain will fall in a short time period that the dry land can't absorb it fast enough. The water can easily cover roads and carry cars away. The Southwest is known for having very powerful storms such as thunderstorms, tornadoes, and hurricanes. The eastern coast of Texas borders the Gulf of Mexico. Many powerful hurricanes have come ashore and caused damage in Texas. Oklahoma and northern Texas are part of Tornado Alley. That is an area that gets many tornadoes every year. Tornadoes can form quickly and be very deadly. And this is a picture of a tornado funnel cloud touching down. The physical geography in the Southwest includes plains, which are flat, fertile fields, hills, deserts, and mountain ranges. As the picture below shows, mountains are found in all 4 states in this region. A large body of water, called the Gulf of Mexico, borders this region southeast of Texas. Mexico borders it to the south. Outside of the cities, this region is a land of open spaces. Even though only 4 states make up this region, it still covers quite a bit of land. Texas is the second largest U.S. state by area, only smaller than Alaska. In Texas alone, you will find coastal lands, Great Plains, rolling hills, a plateau, desert valleys, and wooded mountain slopes. Only about 10% of Texas is desert. That leaves a lot of space for farms and ranches. Texas leads the country in raising cattle, horses, sheep, and goats. They also grow more cotton than any other state. In Oklahoma, you will find mountains, canyons, mesas, which are medium sized, flat topped hill or mountain, and plenty of fertile plains. New Mexico has mountains, deserts, caverns, and colorful canyons. It even has a supervolcano called Valles Caldera. It is capable of making a volcanic eruption thousands of times larger than normal volcanoes. Even though New Mexico is a large state, it does not have a lot of water located in rivers or lakes. That makes it difficult to grow crops. In Arizona, you will find mountains, forests, deserts, plateaus, which are large size flat topped hill or mountain, and deep canyons. One very well known canyon is called the Grand Canyon. It is colorful with steep sides and it is very deep. The economy. Many types of industries can be found in the Southwest, including fishing, tourism, agriculture, mining, and oil production. With great access to the Gulf of Mexico, commercial fishing is an important industry in Texas. Vacationers to the Southwest enjoy camping, boating, hiking, skiing, and sightseeing. Tourists visit national parks, beach resorts, and many historical sites. Both farming and ranching are found in the rural areas. Farmers in the Southwest grow crops including cotton, grain, fruits, and vegetables. Ranchers raise and sell livestock including cattle, horses, sheep, and goats. Using mineral resources, the Southwest leads in creating cement, crushed stone, lime, salt, sand, and gravel. Arizona mines 2/3 of the nation's copper. Oil wells and natural gas production are particularly important parts of the economies in Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. Natural resources. Natural resources are materials that are found in the environment, which are not made by humans. People can then use the natural resources to make other helpful things. There are many natural resources found in this region, including oil, copper, and minerals. Even wind, water, and sun are natural resources that are used to create energy. Landmarks. Landmarks are important places. They can be man-made things such as a monument. They can be historical locations that help to remind us of important events that happened there. They can also be things created by nature that are unique in some way. There are many landmarks in the 4 states that make up the Southwest region. Here we will take a look at just a few of them. Hoover Dam, Arizona-Nevada border. The Hoover Dam was built in the 1930s on the Colorado River. It is named after President Herbert Hoover. The dam is a huge concrete barrier that controls floods, provides irrigation water for growing crops, and produces hydropower, which is water power. The dam captures the power that results from the force of falling or fast-moving water. Hydropower can be used to create electricity for people to use in their homes and businesses. This is a great way to create energy and it is not bad for the environment. The dam uses the water's power without creating dangerous pollution. Plus, it is a renewable resource, so we won't run out of it naturally. Grand Canyon in Arizona. The Grand Canyon is an official national park. Geologists, scientists who study the Earth, have found evidence that it took the Grand Canyon millions of years to form. Slowly, wind and water carried away rock and soil from the ground. This formed a hole in the ground, and over the years it became bigger and bigger. When wind and water move rocks and soil away, it is called erosion, and it is still happening today. The Grand Canyon is so wide and so deep that it can be seen by the astronauts when they are up in space. The Grand Canyon is so large that it contains many outdoor neighborhoods called ecosystems. It has snow-covered forests, running waterfalls, and hot, dry deserts. Many different plants and animals live in these ecosystems. The Navajo National Monument, Navajo Nation Territory. Native American people have a long history of living on the land that is known as the Southwest region. Today, many aspects of their traditional culture are still practiced by those living there. The Navajo National Monument exists to preserve and protect cliff dwellings built by the ancestral Puebloan people. Guided notes, directions. Follow along as your teacher discusses the Southwest presentation. Fill out all the missing information in this packet. Refer to the numbered diagram below and list the 4 states in the Southwest region. The history. The Pueblo people built unique buildings into rock ledges on the land of which states? What was a conquistador? The climate. What is a drought? The land. List at least 4 examples of the types of land that are found in the Southwest. What is the name of the supervolcano that is found in New Mexico? Economy. What are some of the major industries found in the Southwest? Natural resources. What is a renewable resource? What are some renewable resources found in the Southwest region? Landmarks. What are landmarks? List 3 examples of landmarks found in the Southwest region. Number 1. Which of the following is a landform found in the Southwest? A. Deserts, B. Rivers, C. Plateaus, D. Volcanoes, or E. All of the above. Number 2. Which of the following is not a state located in the Southwest? A. Texas, B. Oklahoma, C. New Mexico, or D. Colorado. Number 3. Which of the following statements best describes the climate of the Southwest? A. The climate varies. The Gulf Coast has a hot, humid climate. The mountain areas can be cold and snowy in winter. Still, most of the region has a hot and dry climate. B. The region is famous for its mild climate. It has a warm, sunny climate. C. The region has 4 very different seasons. Winters are cold and snowy. Springs are warm and sunny. Summers are hot and humid. Fall is cool and the trees change colors. And D. The region remains at sub-zero temperatures year-round. PE and Health Daily Lesson. Workout for Beginners. What's your name? Spell out your full name and complete the exercise listed for each letter. For a greater challenge, include your middle name and do each one twice for variety. You can use a different historical person name or a family member's name each time. A is 10 jumping jacks. B is 5 push-ups. C is 1 burpee. D is 20 high knees. E is 5 crunches. F is 10 mountain climbers. G is 5 squats. H is 10 front lunges. I is 10 side lunges. J is 10 second wall sit. K is 5 calf raises. L is 5 second planks. 5 seconds, okay. M is 3 squat jumps. N is 10 second jump rope. O is 10 Russian twists. P is 5 plie squats. Q is 10 arm circles. R is 10 skaters. S is 10 second jog in place. T is 10 butt kickers. U is 5 inchworms. V is 5 tricep dips. W is 3 star jumps. X is 5 bird dogs. Y is 10 leg raises. And Z is 5 squat jacks. And that concludes NTI April 16th. If you have any questions, please contact your teachers.